Hey guys, Isaac here with Zico. At this very moment, I'm pretty excited because about 2 hours ago, I was doing some market research and I discovered that my account had the new search exclusion features that LinkedIn announced they would put into Sales Nav Q1 of 2019. They didn't really make a big deal about announcing this release. I'm kind of surprised because it's so cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you where these new search exclusions are and how to use them because it's almost a little bit hidden and easy to miss. And if you're not familiar with this, what you're looking at here, this is the Sales Navigator all search features. If you have a free or a premium account, it's going to look different and you're not going to have access to what I'm about to show you. So you can just keep watching for fun. And what I've done is I've just added something for every field. I'm actually going to add this here. We'll do LinkedIn just so that you can see when we go to search all of these guys all filled out, because if you don't fill them out in all search, a lot of these are hidden, including some of these features that now have the exclusion. So let's take a kind of closer look. You'll maybe notice right away there's this new little label here called included that was not there before, and that is your indicator which search parameters now have the search exclusion. So you have geography. It's important to note that that's only by region, not postal code. So number 1, geography. Number 2, your company. Number 3, industry. Number 4, school. Number 5, seniority level. Number 6, function. And number 7, job title. Let's go to the top here and I'm going to show you how do you exclude things. So like I said, it's kind of a little bit hidden. When you select something by default, it's just included. And to exclude them, you would just hover over and you're going to see this little circle with the line through, and that means exclude. Once I click that, it turns red, and now this is excluded. That is so cool. Let's do that for company, exclude Amazon, industry, exclude automotive, and then you can kind of just go on and on down the list wherever you see this included. So there are 7. That's how you do the exclusion. Let me just kind of do one for fun here. Let's get rid of that and go to geography, Miami, check that. By default is included, and then I have to hover over and do that, and then it will be excluded. So let's talk about why this is very helpful, okay? There are a number of reasons, and I'm not gonna go really in depth because there's so many scenarios in the wild where it can be helpful, but I'll just kind of talk about 3, okay? Number 1, why the geo is a big deal. Well, for example, if you are in the greater New York City area, but you never, ever, ever want to talk to, for whatever reason, someone from Brooklyn, then you can include greater New York, but then exclude Brooklyn, and wham bam, thank you, Sam. Very, very helpful, especially when you're dealing with maybe a state, but you want to exclude some cities, or a big metro and you want to exclude parts of the metro. That's really helpful. The company here, this is really helpful when you want to exclude, obviously certain companies, but why is that a big deal? Well, if you're doing B2B lead gen, it's really handy to be able to exclude your existing client base. Now you can, of course, in the past, you can do Boolean in here. This just makes it a lot easier. You end up with pretty much the same results, but it tends to be a little bit less buggy. Maybe as an example, WeWork is a client. I'm going to be getting a list, and I already work with these guys. I don't want to include them in the list. Boom, I'll just exclude them, and you are done. Very helpful. Industry, this is going to be extremely helpful when your services, your products are a little bit broad in who you can sell to. What you'll very frequently find is that there's always like 3 or 5 industries where you just never ever want to work with them. In the past, what you'd have to do is go and include, this is where it gets kind of annoying, you would have to have included all of these industries. And LinkedIn's been adding industries, and there are so many. If you would just select every one of these and leave out the 5 or 10 that you wanted to exclude, LinkedIn is going to just bug out. It's going to freeze on you, and it's not going to work. It's going to be a pain. You'd have to break it down in smaller groups. Major, major hassle. Or maybe you have an industry where it's your own industry, and you don't want to sell to your own industry. Now you can just go to, let's say we're a law firm, and we never want to talk to other law firms. So we'd select legal services and then exclude right there. Boom. Very, very helpful. Seniority level. This is really helpful. I think For me personally, I'm going to be excluding training and entry because those usually aren't decision makers. So I could do that and that. But keep in mind, in my experience, this is nice, but it's not always very reliable. But it's a great way to kind of cut out the people that are lower on the org chart. Always, though, explore the search results and make sure that you're getting what you're wanting. Sometimes people have multiple jobs open and you just don't want to exclude someone who's amazing at what they do, has been a president of a company for 20 years, and they have a startup or whatever. You don't want to exclude them. That's where it can get a little bit hairy with the seniority level. For the job function, this is also really handy when used in tandem with other things. So like, for example, here is the job title. Let's actually change this for fun. Maybe I want to talk to people with the job title sales or marketing, but I want to exclude anyone who does a consulting role. So we'll just do that and exclude consulting because maybe those guys are one-man shows. They're not the decision makers at a company. You can just exclude them that way. That can be really nice. For the job title, this is, I don't know, maybe a little bit redundant because a lot of the job titles you could use Boolean in the past. So instead of using the exclusion, you might have been able to just do something like president, not vice, instead of just doing something like include president, exclude vice. So with this one, if you know how to use Boolean, there's a little bit of redundancies. The user interface is maybe a little bit easier to use, but nothing super new there. And if you go down the list here, that is the last one of the search parameters that allow you to use the new search exclusion feature. Let's kind of go to the top here and review, and then I'll let you guys pull up your SalesNav account. And if you have the feature, then just go mess with it and have some fun. So number 1, geography. Number 2, company. Number 3, industry. Number 4, school. Number 5, seniority level. Number 6, function. And number 7, job title. Pretty cool stuff. If you are a student in Link to Jumpstart, I will be updating the course in all the places that we talk about advanced search on SalesNav. I'm going to give this maybe like another week or two to finish rolling out, get familiar with it, update that content. In the meantime, feel free to ask me any questions, share your feedback, and go out there and have some fun. See ya.